Kabatch ko siya sa IIEE 2023 when he was the regional governor for the Western Visayas. Okay. So our speaker for today is an experienced individual. Technically, sabihin natin. So he started as electrical practitioner. He passed pala, no? No October 1992, assistant din siya. Pareho kami, nag-assistant din ako. And then, aside from being an electrical engineer, he is also a registered civil engineer. Saan ka pa? And then, he became a professional electrical engineer last 2009 and a member of the ASEAN Chartered Professional Engineer Registry noong 2019. So he is a consultant of the province of Negros Occidental. Siya po ay taga Bacolod. Okay? Siya ay naging, ano to yung honor? So he is the owner of electrical services. Meron siyang sariling business, family business, more on construction, big construction actually. So I started at HB Lanaza, Asian Alcohol Provincial Engineers Office, then Quantity Solutions, then he put up his own company, and then, bali tatlo ng company niya, no? Quantity, JID, Unor, ano pa? Baka madagdagan pa yan, Gob. No? Aside from being consultant of the province of Negros Occidental. So, he was also a member of the board ng PIC, PICE. So, guys, and also a club president of Kiwanis. So, he has lots on his plate. And again, thank you, Go, for accommodating the request at a very short time, but then alam ko ready ka naman palagi. Uno R pala is their company also. And he has a master's in electrical engineering from WIT. Wow! Pag sinabing WIT, parang meat naman dito sa Luzon. Sa kanila, WIT naman, no? Kilala sa technical ang WIT, pagdating sa technical courses, ang kilala sa parteng Visayas yata dun sa Western Visayas ay tinatawag nilang WIT. Western Institute of Technology ba yun? Western Visayas, kung tama ako. Again, guys, let's all welcome our speaker for today's webinar, Arc Flash Detection Device, Engineer Jalsen J. Dumangkas. Tignan nyo ang kanyang relo. Joke. Hi, Gov.
Hi, thank you, Miss Chi. Thank you for that kind introduction. And good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Gov. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon
I am very honored to be your speaker.
Sir.
Yeah, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Marami. Alam mo naman na, Gov Jalsen, na open to all tayo. So marami tayong mga attendees ngayon. And I would like to inform everyone that you don't need to type your email addresses here because we will be sending a link later for your attendance. So every time that we'll be having our webinar, you don't have to type your email addresses. You could just register to the link that would be posted in our chat box later. Okay, later po. So that what is more important for us is the learning that we could get from this speaker. Especially our speaker today, a good friend of mine. Marami po tayong matututunan sa kanya. Okay? So, Gov, thank you. The floor is yours.
Okay. Ma'am, could I borrow ng screen mo?
Yeah. Hindi ka ba nakakuan? Nakakuhos ka na? Can be na.
Ayan.
Okay.
So nakikita nyo na ba yung screen?
Yes, Gov.
Yes po, yes po. Sir. Nakita po namin.
Okay.
Hindi lang pa siya naka-play.
Okay, sige. Let's
presentation kwan, sige.
Okay, let's start. Okay.
Naka-presenter's view ka, Gob.
Pero nakita nyo ng screen ko? Protection
Yes,
against thermal effect. Okay na yun? Nakita nyo?
Okay, kita na.
Okay.
Okay,
So anyway,
Visual na po. Visual na po.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So my topic for today is arc flash detection device. But where did we start that device? No? So as a member of PEC-1 IEC committee, so this is based on the protection against thermal effect. Because sa PEC natin, no, hindi masyadong clear. So that's why we use the term protection against thermal effect. So yung kanina ang sinasabi ni Ms. Che, yung WIT, yun yung Western Institute of Technology. So yun yung equivalent sa Cebu, yung Cebu Institute of Technology. Then dyan sa Manila, it is the Mapua, no? So this is equivalent in the Western Visayas, no? So that's where I graduated my master's in engineering, major in electrical for my master's degree. And yung sa kanina sinasabi ni Ms. Che, yung sa UNO, that is where yung school na tinuturuan ko, yun, University of Negros Occidental, Recoletos. Yun po. So school yun po. So I have only one company, then I have also my present consultancy in Manila, which is the Quantity Solution, which is first I was employed, then ngayon nagiging partner. Then ngayon consultant din ako ni DOH. Kaya mamaya pupunta rin ako sa Manila because we would be having a meeting dyan sa Quirino Medical Center, which is also I have a project. So anyway, let's start. So first, no, usually when I present my presentation, naglalagay talaga ako ng disclaimer, no? So if I may read my disclaimer, the opinion and comments of the resource speakers do not reflect the opinion, comments, and views of authority having jurisdiction, or what we call that as the AHJ, NEPA, IEEE, IEC, nor IIEE, and shall only be treated as a personal knowledge sharing for educational purposes. So this technical presentation does not mean also endorsing any product that are shown as an example of the technical presentation. Equipment, photo, related information used are provided for educational purposes only and collected from manufacturer's site that are available to the public, especially in the internet. Thank you. So now let's define what is thermal effect of electric current, no? So when we're talking about thermal effect, it is a transformation of electrical energy into heat energy. So tomorrow, no, Valentine na. So maraming magkakaroon ng heat energy tomorrow, no? So meron kayo niyan tomorrow. Converting your energy into heat. No? So tomorrow it's Valentine's Day. So let's take a look on the Philippine Electrical Code. So in Article 1, in the introduction, it is stated, relation to other international standard, the requirements in the PEC addresses the fundamental principle of protection for safety that contains in section 131 of IEC Code, which is on 60364-1. It includes protection against thermal effect. Protection against protection against fault current and protection against overvoltage. Overall, the Philippine Electrical Code also adopt all the rules and what is stated in IEC standard when it comes to protection against thermal effect. So we could see this in the fine footnote of the IEC of the PEC, which IEC 63646-1 contains the fundamental principle. So dito yan nilagay ni PEC sa fine footnote, no? So pag matingnan nyo dyan, no? So this is our basis for protection against thermal effect. So yung code na binasihan ko is the IEC 60364-4-42 or low voltage electrical installation. So this is protection for safety or protection against thermal effect, no? So if you try to read it, electrical installation with regards to measure for protection of person, sa IEC meron livestock, no, and protection against thermal effects. Sa atin, hindi nakalagay ang livestock, no. So one of the main changes in IEC standard includes protection against all thermal effects and flames in case of a fire hazard propagating for electrical installation. Sandali lang ha, may tumatawag sa akin. Just give me 1 second. John, start ako seminar. So, these are all IEC compliance, no? When it comes to protection against thermal effects. So there are only 3 sections in this chapter. However, this is very important, no? And when it comes to protection against thermal effect. Kasi si IEC are very particular with this, no? So let's go now, no? So this was taken from the Philippine Star 2020, no? So the Bureau of Fire noted that the top 3 causes of fire are still the same, no? With fault electrical connection as the leading cause, no? This was followed by lighted cigarette butts, open flames due to torch or solo, no? So study shows that there are approximately 51,000 homes that electrical fire in nature, no, each year, no. So it's reported that these incidents cause as many as 500 deaths and 1,400 injuries annually, as well as significant property damage. So medyo maliit, no. So ito yung kahapon na nakuha ko, no, in the whole of the Philippines, no, from the Bureau of Fire. So number 1 causes is electrical in nature talaga. Electrical, di masyado clear, no? Electrical ignition caused by loose connection. So pag titingnan mo dyan, pag nag-try to visit kayo sa Bureau of Fire na website, lahat dyan ang cause ng sunog, the top 3 to top 4 are electrical in nature, no? So bakit ganun? Electrical in nature naman pala yung parating cause ng sunog. Bakit sa 9514? So sino may alam rito sa 9514? Republic Act 9514 or yung Fire Code of the Philippines. Si Fire Code of the Philippines only specified when you are, sino rito yung mga practitioner na gumagawa ng FSMR? Yung Fire Maintenance Requirements Record, no? Na every year, which is required by the Bureau of Fire when establishment or business are renewing their business license, no? So electrical in nature, but the problem is, may makikita ba tayong FSMR na nakalagay electrical requirements, no? So yung nag-inspect regarding electrical in nature, problem sa loob when it comes to electrical. So wala. Then the number 1 up to number 4 causes of fire are all electrical in nature. We could always see sa FSMR are only mitigating measure, just like you should have your fire detection and alarm system, you should have your sprinkler system, you should have your smoke control system. Yun parati yung nakikita natin. But how about electrical maintenance, no? So hindi natin nakikita, which is yan yung first top 3 na cause ng sunog. Then sana mapagbigyan tayo, no? Our organization could do something about this in partnership with our local government and the Bureau of Fire Protection, kasi tayo pala yung may pinakamalaking, no? Pinakamalaking accountability nito, yung electrical in nature, hindi naman natin ito ina-address. Maybe if this problem would be addressed by all electrical practitioners, we could reduce these fire-related incidents, no? So nakita naman natin yung nasunog, yung historical building natin, yung if naalala nyo, yung post office natin, no? Nasunog. Ano ba yung cause yun? Electrical in nature pa rin, no? But at the end of the day, yung profession natin was given less important when it comes to practicing the requirements under Republic Act 9514 or the Fire Code of the Philippines. So let's continue. What are the causes of fire due to electricity? So tatlo lang yan, no? So overcurrent, overvoltage, and arc fault. So may naririnig ba tayo pag nagkaroon ng sunog na ganito yung causes of fire sa ating BFP or yung mga personnel who investigate the fire-related incidents? So wala, no? So parating naririnig natin is, ano ngayon? Faulty electrical wiring. Or sometimes, maririnig mo, mayroong short circuit. Yun yung parati naririnig natin sa mga kaibigan natin, no? Sa BFP, no? Which is, us as electrical engineer or us as our organization should correct that statement, no? Kasi mali naman yan. So, pag titingnan mo, ba't kaya nagkakaroon ng sunog? At the start ng design, mayroon na bang faulty or mayroon na bang mali, no? So doon natin tingnan. Then during its operation, every year ba tinitingnan natin? Then if titingnan natin, saan ba parating may sunog? So wala naman parating sunog. May nakikita pa kayo araw-araw may mall na susunog, may mga industry, wala, no? Kasi they have their own electrical engineer who maintain and oversee those facility. So yung sunog na makikita natin parati, no, doon sa mga kaibigan natin sa informal settler. So yun parati. At ito yung causes ng sunog which si BFP sana, no, would try to oversee or correct this, no? So that's why sino ba dapat, no? Si electrical engineer ang dapat mag-oversee dito, no? In partner with IIEE. So,
Jaline Isabel Dumangas.
So ito yon yung a while ago, no? Yung dinidiscuss ko. But first, let's define, no? Regarding arc flash and arc fault, no? So, if we are going to define what is arc flash, no? So, arc flash, according to NEPA 70, is a hazard or a source of possible injury or damage to health associated with the release of energy caused by electric arc. So sometimes this is caused by a prolonged short circuit, no? And it is released in air through cables or busbar, no? So ito yung how NEPA define arc flash. Or another definition, no, which is taken also from the internet. So it is a sudden discharge in electrical equipment that releases extremely high energy and temperature. So ito parati yung nangyayari sa loob ng switchgear natin, sa transformer natin, which there is a prolonged short circuit, then suddenly it was not arrested correctly by our protection or OCPD, so nagkakaroon tayo ng arc flash. That's why arc flash is an extremely dangerous phenomena that can cause fire, severe burns, or harm to electrical worker, no? So precautions such as wearing of PPEs, clothing, or what we call as fire resistance clothing using insulated equipment must be taken to reduce potential hazard. So ito yung mga definition ni arc flash, and we should be aware of this as electrical engineer, no? So usually if you try to look at how the mitigation method as recommended by NEPA, so there are 6 mitigation, no? So number 1, elimination, substitution, engineering control, awareness, administrative control, and lastly is the PPE. So alam naman natin si PPE yung last resort, no? So number 1 is elimination. So when we are talking about elimination, we're talking about physically removing the hazard, no? Especially inside the switchgear or in switchgear. So what shall we do? Or in our transformer, so number 1, no, is we de-energize, no? Or turn off power in order to eliminate the hazard during maintenance or during something that you are been doing in your switchgear, your motor control center, or your panel. So number 1 yan, no, is you de-energize. Kasi pag nagkamali tayo, dyan yung nangyayari yung arc flash. But sometimes may mga kasamahan tayo na talagang matapang, sabi nga nila, kaya ko yan itap kahit nga 13 to, kahit nga 15 kb, kahit nga 23 kb or 34 kb. So nagtatap sila, no? Live. So sa inyo kaya dyan, kaya nyo yan kasi sa amin rito, pag nag-apply ka rito sa utility company namin as outsourced, no? So mayroon silang tinatawag na no interruption. So imagine you would be tapping live if there is a problem, live talaga. So 13.2 kb, no? So kaya-kaya natin yan. So that is where you could not eliminate the hazard. So para yung isang paa mo nasa hukay na, no? The next is substitution or lessen the hazard. So when we're talking about substitution, so you replace it with proper design. So if it is designed properly, you would lessen the hazard. Then number 3 is engineering control. So so this was taken from our NEC, no? So hopefully when we are going to upgrade our Philippine Electrical Code, no, it would be based already on the 2020 National Electrical Code. So engineering control or isolate people from hazard would already be included against to address human error. And awareness, administrative control, which what we called as REST procedure or assessment, no, against human error. Then yung pinakalas, no, pag hindi mo ito natupad yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ito na yung pinakalas, no. Magsuot ka na ng proper personal protective equipment, no? Kasi wala na itong 1 to 5 eh. So ito na yung last recourse mo. So it is up to the employer or user to provide a protection to their worker. But ang importante, no, wala sana may mangyari sa ating masama. So be sure, no, kasi yung life natin or yung buhay natin isa lang, no. Yung equipment pag nasira, pwede natin yan palitan. But if buhay ng tao, especially if we were the one who is supervising, monitoring the project or in charge of the project or in charge of our facilities, let's be sure, no, na hindi tayo mag-take ng risk. No, if ever we would be taking the risk, so kailangan merong proper PPEs yung mga personnel natin, no? Kasi parang katulad may nangyari dito sa amin na nadisgrasya yung tao. Imagine, it took that person to be hospitalized for the next 3 months, no, sa utility company namin. So imagine 3 months at saka namatay lang naman tao. Alam mo ba magkano binayaran ng company? More than 3 million, no? Para mabuhay lang yung tao. So sana mangyari sa mga personnel natin yan, no? So let's avoid na may mamamatay tayo dahil lang sa mag-take tayo ng risk, no? Even though sabihin na natin magaling siya, magaling ka, no? But accident always happen. So yun po. So let's now try to look at when it comes to arc flash, no? So i-define muna natin si arc flash bago tayo pupunta na doon sa arc flash detection device, no? So this presentation is based on IEEE 1584 series of 2018, no? So when we're talking about arc flash, doon sa luma sa 2002, dalawa lang tinitingnan nila. Yung mamaya ibigay ko yon. But dito, titingnan mo, there are already five consideration, no? So, if makikita mo dyan, yung orientation ng electrode, so ito yung tinatawag na electrode configuration in test, no? So, for BCB, this is vertical electrodes inside an enclosure. Then, BCCB, this is a vertical electrode terminated, no? In a barrier inside a metal box. So, then for number 3, we have what we called as the horizontal electrode inside the metal box. Then yung dalawa, yung 4 and 5, ito yung parati natin makikita sa ating distribution facilities and sa ating terminal outside of our transformer. This is the vertical electrode in an open air and horizontal electrode in an open air. So ito yung mga consideration ni IEEE 1584 series of 2018. While sa 2002, dalawa lang yung consideration, no? It is the voltage, the gap. So hindi na tiningnan yung kung anong orientation. So bahala ka sa orientation. So dalawa lang yung consideration. That's why sa IEEE 1584 series of 2018, there are already 5 consideration. And guys, yung limitation rito, the computation is from 208 volts up to 15 kV only. Why is it that up to 15 kV only? Because whatever would be the result of their test, hanggang 15 kV lang yung equipment nila that could accommodate. Kasi if it is 34, 69, 138 to 30 kV, so wala nang equipment si IEEE to conduct that. So, ang tanong, anong gagamitin nating equation? So based sa kay IEEE, you could use other sort of standards when computing for that. But when it comes up to 15 kV, mayroon talagang test, no? So there are more than 1,000 tests that they have conducted and validated their new equation for that. So ito yung mga electrode configuration, no? So hopefully this could provide us a more specific when it comes to computation for arc flash. So siguro si arc flash later, we could have a workshop for this, no? Para at least makita natin kung paano talagang kinocompute ang arc flash result for this, no? So these are the, if you try to look at this, these are the IEEE guide for performance of arc flash hazard calculation, no? So ito yung mga equation, no, na very tedious, no? So ang hahaba. So anong ginawa namin rito? So usually software driven ito, no? So if you have your ETAP, easy power, but you could create it also sa yung Excel, no? Pag magaling ka naman sa program sa Excel, pwede mo naman ito gawa ng paraan, then you would have the same result sa kay ETAP, no? So, ito, tingnan nyo guys, no? What's the difference from 2002 to 2018? So, pag titingnan mo, si 2002, yung computation nila is based only on the gap driven. So, pag sinabing gap, ano bang gap ito? Gap between your bus bar or your electrodes, no? Then the working distance, operating voltage, and available short circuit, no? So if there is grounding, so hindi pa yan na model previously, then if there is box, you could choose with that, no? So there is a table with that, no? If you have your IEEE 1584. But when it comes to the new, no? The new standard of IEEE or the new version, so there is what we call as electrode orientation. So yun yung kanina, yung pinakita kong picture, yung electrode, if it is oriented vertically or if it is oriented horizontally. So alam naman natin, pag yung orientation mo is vertical, syempre pag sumabog, pababa, but if your orientation is horizontal, pagbukas mo ng panel, sa'yo talaga tatama yan. So doon yung may pinakamalakas, no? at saka may pinakamalaking disgrasya sa tao. And we also considered barriers, box sizes consideration, also the gap, and result may vary significantly. No? And the computation now would be having a good significant result when it comes to its arcing current or incident energy and the approach boundary. So ito yung pagkakaiba ng 1584 2002 and 1584 of IEEE, which is the new version of 2018. So ito yung biggest difference, no? If titingnan mo, no? Horizontal versus study to safety to all practitioner and working people in the industry. So, ayan o, old model, heat and plasma bounce around the box and get pushed via radiation. So, if the orientation is horizontal, so Lorentz force pushes arc away from the ends, ma-focus on the worker. That's why there is a computation for that, no? So, yan yung mga kailangan natin na pagtandaan, no? When we are working inside a switchgear, inside or outside. So, arc flash protective measure, no? So, ito yung protective measure where fire resistance and flame retardant clothing, no? So, these are the requirements, no? Use insulated tools to reduce the risk, no? So, alam naman natin, pag yung tools mo hindi insulated at na bitawan mo sa loob na switchgear, no? If yung iba is still energized, so doon nagkakaroon ng arc flash, no? And some of it, arc flash detection system, no? So, merong ibang, may mga panibagong technology na tayo, installation flash and takes measure to reduce injury. So, may mga And number 4 is maintaining equipment regularly. So when you maintain your equipment regularly, this would ensure your performance and safety. So yun po for arc flash. Now, let's talk about what is bolted fault, no? So, balik pala tayo. So, using IEEE 1584-2018, so this is limited, no? So yung computation mo is good only for 3-phase, no? If it is for single phase, hindi kasama rito. Hindi rin kasama rito si DC. So this is only for 3-phase, no? 3-phase arc flash. So yan yung limitation ni 1584-2018, then up to 15 kV only. So more than 15 kV, you could use any equation or any standard, no? According to IEEE. So yung kanilang recommendation is up to 15 kV only. So let's talk about bolted fault, no? So when we are talking about bolted fault, yan yung tinatawag natin na short circuit, no? Or what we call as fault where zero impedance, and this is giving the prospective short circuit current in the circuit. So ito yung tinatawag natin short circuit or 3-phase fault or bolted fault, no? Now, what is arc fault naman? No? So, arc fault refers to, kanina, arc flash yun ha. So, ngayon, arc fault na ito ha. So, refers to a situation in which loose or corroded wiring, connection, created an intermittent contact that causes electrical current to spark, to arc between contact points. So, when you hear the classic example, no, a light switch or an outlet buzzing or hissing, you are already hearing an arcing. So sino naka-experience rito sa inyo? No? Especially sa bahay, pag switch on mo ng ilaw mo, especially pag may langgam sa loob, no? Sino rito naka-experience na yung langgam doon na mamahay sa loob ng outlet, sa loob ng switch box, kasi mainit doon eh, no? Especially, or doon sila gumagawa ng bahay, doon nila tinitipon lahat ng pagkain. So, sino naka-experience rito? So, sometimes doon sa contact point, mayroong mga langgam doon. Mayroong mga pagkain silang nilalagay doon. That's why you would hear hissing, no? Sa outlet naman, maluwag yung outlet at saka yung plug, no? Yung contact point maluwag. Kaya nakakaroon tayo ng hissing. So, anong ginagawa natin? Yun pala yung tinatawag na arcing, no? So, when there is arcing, there is already an energy or heat energy or thermal energy that is being created. So, hindi lang tayo aware, no? That's why sa bahay, sa mga especially sa informal settler, pag hindi ka aware, ano mangyari? If it is on a prolonged basis, ano mangyari? Siyempre, doon mag-start yung fire. Ang problema, may nag-trip ba? No? Kaya sabi ni Bureau of Fire, faulty electrical wiring yan. No? So, a bolted fault has no fault impedance. So, ibig sabihin, shorted, so no impedance. While the arcing fault current has impedance associated with arc. So, ibig sabihin, pag mayroon tayong arcing fault, especially sa outlet, especially sa mga switches natin, ang liit lang yan, no? Pag mayroon kang impedance, ibig sabihin, yung current mo nalilimit, so maliit lang yung current passing. So yung ordinary molded case, circuit breaker, or yung mga residual circuit breaker, hindi yan madidetect, no? Or yung mga miniature type natin, which is a common. Or yung mga safety switch natin, no? Or fuse type. So, hindi yan madidetect. So, this is how it looks like, no? In the illustration, no? Pag sinabi natin voltage fault has no fault impedance. So, yan yun, dalawang bus bar, no? Sinort natin, yan yung tinatawag na voltage fault. But how about the arcing fault current, no? So, pag titingnan mo, mayroong gap, no? Mayroong gap, and this is associated, no, to impedance. So, when there is a gap, no, mayroong impedance. So, a voltage fault, therefore, has a higher fault magnitude than the arcing fault, no? So, ang arcing fault, ang liit lang yan as it goes maybe maximum of 5 amperes only, no? Pag 15 amperes yung breaker mo, mayroong tinatawag na arcing fault, may magtitrip ba? Siyempre, wala. 5 amperes lang 15 yung breaker mo. Yung breaker mo, ano ba yung classification natin sa breaker? No? Alam naman natin, yung sa maliliit, dalawa lang naman yan, no? Ano nga yun? Overload, instantaneous, at saka yung wala nga, may overvoltage pa yon. So, thermal, I don't know, no? So, sa inyo, ano sa inyo? So, that's how we need to know before we install, no? So, what are arc faults, no? In an arc faults, there are 3 types of arc fault, no? We have our classification, we have our causes, and we have a protection, no? So, when it comes to classification, so the first classification is, ito yung illustration, no? So, we have 3 classification, no? We have our series, we have our parallel, and we have our parallel line to ground. So this is, guys, for single phase lang, no? So yung arc fault, maliit lang ito, pambahay lang ito, no? For small types of, although sabihin natin pambahay, this could be applicable also for hospital and other facilities, but for single phase system lang. So if you try to look at it, this is a single phase with 3 wire, no? So this is applicable only for a line to neutral system, no? With your earthing, proper potential earthing. So, itong halimbawa, no? For your series fault. So if you have a plug. So ito yung pinaka-common sa bahay natin, no? Nakikita natin yung isang wire na putol, no? So pag may naputol, anong mangyayari? Well, we all know that it would still be working, kaya lang nag-intermittent na ito, no? So when there is an intermittent one, alam natin yung current is less or equivalent to 5 amperes, no? So if you are using a miniature type, a molded case, or a residual current device, or a residual breaker, so this cannot be detected. So a prolong of this, no, would start, no, a fire inside our household. No? So series arc fault can generally be defined as a partial disruption and unintended release on an active conductor not normally interrupted. No? So main cause, lack of conductor continuity, defective switches, which do not properly close the poles, terminals are not tight, no? Light bulb, just like in the light bulbs, no? So even ang light bulbs pala natin, pag if it's not tightened properly, no? Ito pala tinatawag na series arc fault, no? And partially broken or poorly spliced cable or defective devices. So ito pala yung tinatawag na series arc fault, which if it cannot be detected or arrested in your system, this would create a fire-related incident. So ito yung mga nangyayari, no? So mga classic example, no? Especially sa ating pamamahay, which is pag iniwan mo, doon tayo nagkakaroon ng problema, no? Pag matagal, if there is a combustible material beside it, so hindi natin namalayan, masusunog na pala tayo. So, how about for the parallel arc, no? Ito yung parallel arc, no? Pag titingnan nyo, so, main cause are insulation failure. Mechanically or accidental interference with a conductive parts causes damage. So, similar concept of a short circuit. So, ito yung tinatawag na parallel arc fault, no? So this parallel arc fault can be detected by your miniature circuit breaker, but if the current is high enough. If the current is not high enough, then there would be no detection. No? So that's why, yan din ang sinasabi natin, nakakaroon tayo ng sunog. No? So ito yung mga classical example, no, on how a parallel arc fault concept, no, on the illustration. No? The next is what we call as the earth arc fault. No? So earth arc fault, main causes are insulation failure, mechanical or accidental interference with a conductive part. So ito yung tinatawag na line to ground, no? Line to ground fault. But no, current is flowing from an active conductor and can generally be defined as an insulation breakdown between conductive parts that would touch the ground or the earth. So, ang mangyayari, parang nagiging intermittent touching, no? So, hindi naman continually na line to ground fault, but if it is a intermittent touching, so if your protection is not a GFCI or residual circuit breaker, if it is just an ordinary molded case or miniature one, this cannot still be detected. No? So that's why pag matagal, yan, doon tayo nagkakaroon ng sunog. No? So ito yung mga common, no? Which hindi lang tayo aware na ito na pala yung tinatawag na arc fault. No? Kasi pag may narinig kayong hazing or pag-plug nyo ng television set, appliances from your outlet, pag maluwag, siyempre, ginagawa natin ng paraan para magkakaroon lang tayo ng power sa appliances natin. Pero hindi na pala natin alam na yun na pala yung start ng tinatawag na arc fault. So, protection against arc fault by miniature. So, miniature circuit breaker, molded case circuit breaker. So, pag titingnan natin si miniature, so nakuha ko ito sa one guys sa ABB na literature, no? So, miniature circuit breaker do not provide complete protection against arc fault, no? If you try to look at it, the protection would be the neutral to phase only, no? For the miniature. But if the current is too small, then it would not be detecting on it, no? So si miniature circuit breaker hindi makapagbigay, or si molded case hindi makapagbigay ng protection from arc fault. So how about si residual circuit breaker, or sometimes we call it GFCI, no? Sa ANSI or sa Philippine Electrical Code or sa NEC, we call that GFCI, or ground fault circuit interrupter. While if it is an IEC term, it is a residual current device. So if you try to look at it, sa illustration, if there is a face-to-face breakdown, wala tayong protection dyan, no? So tripping would only occur if there is a linkage to ground. So yan lang yung protection ni residual circuit breaker. So limited lang yung protection niya from a leakage current to ground. So that's why totally si residual circuit breaker or si GFCI could only provide a limited tripping when it comes to, or a certain classification only when it comes to arc fault problem. So that is only good for an earth arc fault classification with that, no? Sa tatlo, so isa lang yung madidetect niya. So for the parallel in the series, there would be no tripping, no? So in my topic, I introduce a protection against arc fault, or what we called as arc fault detection device, no? So I think that was last December, no, when expert of IEC we inquire about this problem here in the Philippines, no? Because problema natin rito yung system natin, in every utility company pa iba-iba, no? Meron tayong line to line, meron tayong line to ground, meron tayong line to neutral, no? So our device would not work on a line to line protection, no? That's why yung mga utility company natin that are still employing a line-to-line system, so dito tayo nagkakaroon ng problema. That's why we should have a uniform system, no? That's why si IAEE would be pushing for this, no, in coordination sa NEA, no, to have a one uniform system. If we're using a line-to-line or line-to-neutral, but most protection that are introduced right now in the market are based on IEC standard, which is on the line-to-neutral system, not on the line-to-line, which is in the US are still using. But right now, the US is the one, actually, if you try to look at history later on, no, when we are going to discuss, no, the US are the one who designed this arc fault detection device. So if we are talking about arc fault protection, no, this device, in order to reduce the risk of arc, so the arc fault detection device is a complete protection against arc fault, no? So lahat ng IEC standard mayroon na rito, no? Si Eaton, si ABB, si Siemens, no? Lahat mayroon yan. So nakita ko lang ito sa kay ABB, no? Which we borrowed it from them, no? When we are doing our study sa PT, no? So in order to reduce the risk of fire due to arc fault, it is required that installation of an arc fault detection device for parallel arc, earth arc fault, and series arc fault. So we need to say, if we have any of those classified arc fault, this device would seen it and could arrest it in order to reduce the risk of fire due to arc fault. So, yung cause pala ng sunog natin, pag titingnan natin, hindi naman pala short circuit, hindi naman pala overloading, Alam naman natin, sa mga kaibigan natin sa informal settler, arc fault parati kasi ang liit lang, hindi mo naman ma-detect. Kaya nga sabi nila, pag hindi ginamit, i-off nyo na. Kaso lang, pag may nalimutan ka, kahit sa mga convenience store natin na nasusunog, may maririnig tayo. Nasunog due to aircon, due to their freezer, yun pala. Doon nagkakaroon pala ng arc fault. So pag hindi na-arrest yun, masunog ka. So imagine, ang liit lang ng investment mo sa protection, pag nasunog ka, ubus. Ubus lahat. Manakawan ka lang daw, wag ka lang masunugan. So that's why we need protection. So as electrical engineer, we should be aware of this, And hopefully, IIEE could be partners sa Bureau of Fire, So that we could also educate our brothers, sa Bureau of Fire, with regards to this system. Kasi parati namin maririnig sa Bureau of Fire is NEPA, NEPA 12, NEPA 70, NEPA 72. So all of those protection. But when it comes to electrical related, hindi nila masyado ito tinatakol, Lahat is purely mechanical in nature, So, if ever our organization would be in partner with the Bureau of Fire, Lahat tayo, hindi mawawala ng trabaho. Dami nating trabaho. Mind nyo, hindi natin ito lahat ma-cover up pag pina-implement na ito, especially every year, from the start of the business licensing, as FSMR, Fire Safety and Maintenance Requirements, So if you would become later on, because I have no idea right now, but sabi ni Bureau of Fire, mapapalabas na sila ng memo na lahat ng pumipirma ng fire maintenance and safety requirements should be accredited by the Bureau of Fire. So yun yung pinupush namin, kasi member din ako ng PIPO, a fire safety organization, which we are pushing na yung electrical talaga masali sa bago nilang IRR, Kasi yung 2019 ng IRR ng 9514 lumabas na, so hindi sinali nila si electrical doon, which is pag titingnan natin statistically, electrical related in nature. Yung parating sunog, first 1 to 3, electrical na. So si electrical hindi sinasali. So pag titingnan natin, pag titingnan natin, ano ba parating nasusunog, Nandun parati araw-araw may sunog sa informal settler, Tingnan mo statistic ni Fire. If you try to visit their website, araw-araw may sunog doon. So hopefully, if electrical engineer would be participating in this, though maybe hindi naman natin ma-eliminate lahat, but we could reduce those fire-related incident. So ito yung mga symbols, different types of fault are summarized the following legend. So if you would be seeing this sa yung circuit break or sa yung protective devices or overcurrent or OCPD, so these are the type of fault that your OCPD can detect or could provide for your protection. So, pag titingnan natin si miniature, so ano lang ba kayang proteksyonan ni miniature? So, si miniature circuit breaker could only provide overcurrent protection, But depende pa yan sa pag sinabi nating overcurrent, Pag titingnan mo yung time current curve or TCC curve, sino ba rito yung familiar doon? If you have already 200% overcurrent, ilang seconds ba yan magti-trip? Ilang minutes ba yan magti-trip, So kailangan as electrical engineer, we should be aware of that, Kasi baka akala mo pag nag-overload ka na ng 10%, automatically trip. Hindi pa yan. So there is what we call as time current curve, Baka 2 oras pa yan. So sometimes nasunog ka na. How about 200%? Pag 200% overload, magti-trip ba yan kaagad? So titingnan natin. That's why we should also be aware of it, So pag titingnan mo si MCB, ano na kayang proteksyonan? Overcurrent. So kahit si leakage current to ground, so ito yung tinatawag na residual current, hindi rin kaya i-protect yung system mo. At all the arc fault classification, the ERC arc, parallel arc, and series arc, hindi kaya ng ordinary molded case or miniature type circuit breaker. And number two, how about for your residual circuit breaker? Huh? So si residual circuit breaker, yung kayang i-protect niya lang is the leakage current to ground or yung residual. And then yung earth arc fault. Kasi si residual at saka si earth arc fault is magkapareho lang yan. So that's why si residual circuit breaker or yung tinatawag na GFCI sa ANSI term natin, kaya kailangan guys, no, we should be familiarized sa IEC term na. Kasi yung pinagdidebatihan namin pag dumating ang equipment, IEC, yung standard mo is PEC. So paano mo yung titingnan? No? So that's why as practitioner, we should be aware of that and basahin yung material data sheet. No? Pag nag-specify kayo ng yung fault calculation nyo or yung fault rated nyo sa iyong breaker, tingnan nyo kasi there are 3 fault rated sa sa IEC. Unlike sa ANSI, isa lang. Pag sinabi mo 10KA, 10KA yan. But pag titingnan mo si IEC, mayroong 3. So alin doon yung pipiliin mo? So that's why guys, no, as practitioner, we should now be aware of the new technology and the IEC standard. So hopefully, makapalabas kami ng equivalent para at least lahat ng practitioner should be aware on it, no? Especially yung dumarating ngayon, no? Hindi naman natin control yung economy natin, especially if they're investor. If there are investor or industry na pumapasok sa atin, ayun, IEC kagad yung standard ginagamit. Paano pag Indiano? Sino na ba nakakita rito na yung ginagawang grounding conductor, pipes, no? Pag Indiano, then bakal. Kasi yan daw yung standard sa India So kailangan marunong kayo doon kasi accident always happen if we really don't know. That's why we should be familiar also with IEC standard and some other standard, especially when it comes to new installation, no, sa facility natin. Kasi alam naman natin, tayo sa Pilipinas, yung tinatawag na, ano tawag dito, halo-halo lahat. Bahala ka na sa buhay mo kung ano doon pag-interpret mo. But what is important is the safety. That's why in the different types of protection, we should always also be familiar with this, no? So hindi na tayo pupunta doon sa malakihan. Dito lang muna tayo sa maliit kasi dito parati may nangyayari ng problema. Dito parati mayroon aksidente at saka sunog. So about for residual current with overcurrent protection. So maybe ngayon lang ito nakita. So 3 lang yung kanyang protection. Overcurrent, leakage current to ground, and earth arc fault. No? So ito lang yun sa RCBO. No? So hindi niya sinasakop yung parallel at saka yung series. So how about for the arc fault detection device with integrated miniature type circuit breaker, no? So ito naman yung kanyang protection na maibigay sa atin, no? Is excluded yung leakage current to ground or yung tinatawag natin na residual current, no? Then yung pinakalas is the arc fault detection device with integration of residual current breaker and overcurrent protection. So ito yun, no? So ito na yung pinaka-complete, guys, no? So for us practitioner, we should be familiarized on what protection we are going to recommend to our client, no? Kasi at the end of the day, we would be the one that would be recommending. And at the end of the day, we would be the one that would be accountable. So hindi naman natin sabihin yan, ay, nalimutan ko, no? So, nakakaya naman yan. E paano pag may namatay, no? So, ano kaya mangyari, no? So, it would become our conscience, no? Konsensya pa natin yan, no? Kasi, nalimutan na natin i-identify ano ba yung type of protection na gusto natin ilagay or may nasunugan tayo kasi hindi natin alam, no? That's why we need to educate also ourselves, no? Especially si Bureau of Fire, no? So, different level of protection from the miniature, from the residual, and from the arc fault protection. So, ito yun, no? This is a table for comparison, no? So, nandyan no lahat, no? So, circuit and people protection against the risk of fire. So, ito yun si arc fault detection device with integrated residual circuit breaker with overcurrent protection, no? So, ito yun. So, at least we could now choose later, no? When it comes to our design, no? And specifying the equipment when it comes to installation. So ito guys, no? Ito yung overview, no? So I just borrowed this from one of the supplier, no? But for all the supplier that are REIEC standard, especially yung mga UL or type tested, mayroon naman sila dito. So how do we know that there is an arc fault, no? So ito daw yung one. So ito daw yung magiging signal, no? Doon sa atin arc fault detection device, no? So meaning to say, if there is no arc fault, no? Yung kwan natin, yung current is purely sinusoidal in waveform. If there is an arc fault, nagkakaroon ng shouldering, no? So that is how the arc fault detection device detects that there is already a presence of arc fault in the system, which an ordinary miniature circuit breaker cannot detect it. Imagine, ang liit lang ng current, no? But doon pala nagdi-distort sa kanya sinusoidal waveform. That is for the current and that is for the voltage. So ito yung laman, no? Basic structure, no? So there is an integrated, no? Electronic components, no? For arc fault detection. So electronic na ito yung arc fault detection natin. No? So hindi ko na ito guys i-discuss, no? Ang electronic. But what is the history of arc fault protection, no? So if you try to look at history, no? So during in the 1980s to 1985, no? So in the US, Consumer Product Safety Commission investigates on the electrical fire. So ibig sabihin, those early days, no? Before that, a Consumer Product Safety Commission investigate on the causes of fire, no? So it was only in 1995 at the request of the Consumer Protection, UL elevates the different solution to mitigate the fire risk and select arc fault detection technology. So ibig sabihin guys, no? This was only in 1995, no? That this technology was selected and it was UL yung gumawa nito, no? Under UL 1699. Then in 1997, the first arc fault, no, circuit is available on the market, and their standard was followed, no? It is under UL 1699 that the arc fault circuit interrupter product standard was published in the market, no? So if you try to look at history itself, then in the US, so ibig sabihin pala sa US pala ito, no? But I'm just wondering, no? since our Philippine Electrical Code is patterned from NEC, and we are also following the UL, no? UL listed standard. Ba't kaya hindi ito sinama earlier, no? So siguro there should be a proper government agency that would really push for this, no? So in 2002, US installation standard, nakalagay talaga sa NEC, 1999 requires arc fault circuit interrupter branch feeder to protect bedroom receptacle. So sa bedroom pa lang yan, no? Yan, no? Then in 2008, again, no, in the US, standard in NEC 2005 requires arc fault circuit interrupter combination in different domestic room. Then in 2013, this is where IEC 62608 or the arc fault detection device product standard was published. Then in around 2017, kaya nga bata pa ito no? In Germany, no? In Germany or in Europe already, no? Installation standard are required, no? That arc fault detection device in specific application, especially in dormitories location with a higher risk of fire, should already be included in your protection. So required na to, mandatory na sa Europe, no? Especially in Germany. No? So ibig sabihin, IEC 60364-4-42, yun yung kanina yung against thermal protection, are really requiring that arc fault detection device should be installed, especially in rooms with sleeping accommodation. Ito yung mga classic example. Home and daycare center, retirement home, asylum, hotel, hospital. Location with risk of fire due to combustible material, especially in wooden buildings, carpentry, gas station, barns. Yan, no? And museum, research and development centers, laboratory. So right now, in Europe or in IEC practicing country, required na talaga ito. Also enforced ventilated system. So that's why, as practitioner, supposed to be this protection, we as electrical engineers should be in partner with the Bureau of Fire. Kasi 1 to 3 nga electrical in nature parate. So at the end, electrical engineer should be important in our practice in our country to avoid this fire-related incident or can be controlled or can be reduced. Yun lang po. That's the end of my topic. Thank you very much and good afternoon. If you have some question, I am free to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Jalsen. We can proceed po sa question and answer. So if you have questions po, type it in the chat box or you can unmute. Any question? Any question ka po, Sir John Patrick?
I have read, can arc fault related topics usually lumalabas sa RE board exam? Hindi ito lumalabas because this is already a special topic, no? Usually yung lumalabas yan is basic yung pinag-aralan na natin sa school. So ibig sabihin, pag hindi requirements ng CHED or yung guidelines sa board exam, hindi naman ito lumalabas. So this is already a special topic when it comes to practice. Then, yung presentation ko, forward ko lang ito, i-convert ko muna sa PDF, then you can have this para at least ma-share nyo rin, no? Especially sa mga practitioner. Para we as practitioner, no, could already promote this, no, to avoid, no, to provide safety to our environment, no? Especially pag may mga kaibigan tayo diyan sa Bureau of Fire. I-educate natin sila, no? Para at least yung sunog, yung safety, may iwasan natin. Thank you. Comparison to the cost of arc fault protection to ordinary CP, medyo sabi nga nila, no, when we have a discussion doon sa supplier, medyo mahal siya, no? Kasi wala namang bumibili. So it would be ordered special pa. Kaya nga our country is supposed to be, no, should already adapt ng IEC standard kasi sa atin hindi pa makikita sa market yung mga especially itong mga special devices. And also cables, guys, no? So yung common dito, yung cables natin is it is still an ANSI standard pa rin tayo. So that's why pag may mga IEC product, especially itong mga bago ngayon, medyo mahal pa kasi maliit lang yung demand sa market. So maghihintay pa tayo. That's why we need to push, no, yung kuno natin, yung code natin could now adapt, or maybe sabi nga nila yung mga kasamaan ko sa standard that we could have our homegrown code, no, para i-adapt na natin on what is really need in our country and what we need really as a practitioner, no. So medyo mahal pa ito ngayon, so almost times 4 pa ito ng ordinary miniature type. Siguro si miniature nasa yung mga branded nasa around 400, ito siguro nasa around 1,500 to 2,000. Yes, Sir Brian. Good afternoon, Sir Brian.
Yes, Gob. Nice to see you again. No?
Hi.
Yeah, thank you for very good informative lecture. Yeah, just to add lang, Gob, galing kami ng BFP 7 kaninang umaga, and we introduced also to them this arc fault, no, detecting devices. So it's a new concept sa kanila, so they appreciated naman talaga na they requested ANPAC, IIEE, no, at the national level din to introduce this also, no, this safety device para makascale daw doon sa mga regional and city level ng offices nila. So I think we need to doon sa committee na at the national level din relay ito sa kanila. But they are open na talaga na start muna daw awareness dun sa mga stakeholders, no, before i-adapt nila for mandatory requirement. But they've already also considered this one, no, when they had the knowledge na ano palang capability ng ganitong device and ano yung difference doon sa mga regular breakers natin. So yun yung development natin as far as BFP7 is concerned.
Thank you, Go Brian, for that information. But siguro, Gob, mas maganda siguro si Bureau of Fire talaga yung magkakaroon tayo ng partnership talaga sa kay Bureau of Fire, no? Because we already know yung pinaka-powerful when it comes sa implementation ng fire code is the Bureau of Fire. So, dapat sana masali si electrical doon sa fire maintenance and safety requirements, which is a yearly requirements to all establishment and to all industry which the Bureau of Fire are conducting. So, doon sana tayo. Then, ito yung mga protection may sama natin, no? Para lahat naman ng electrical engineer could participate and everybody, no, could have a safe from fire-related incident, no? Because electrical, pag titingnan natin, no, electrical naman talaga yung statistic nga eh. 1, 2, 3, 4, electrical na lahat eh. So, andun talaga yung organization natin. Hopefully, we could be partners sa kay Bureau of Fire and sa kay local government unit. Kasi nandun talaga yung yung key, no, to promote fire safety environment. Thank you po. Hopefully, no, sa new I don't know when ipalalabas yung new PEC, no? So last December nag-usap kami ni Engineer Santiago, hopefully makasama ito. Kasi pag titingnan natin sa National Electrical Code, kasama naman ito. I don't know why is it na hindi ito very strictly implemented. Maybe yung system natin at sa kay National Electric kay NEA, no? National Electrical Administration, no? Na yung system natin, we should have no uniform system if we would be implementing line to neutral, line to line, line to ground. Kasi CIEC is implementing line to neutral eh kasi yung atin luma is ANSI pa eh. So that's why they're still implementing a line-to-line system. So hopefully, IIE should also be in partner with NEA, no? To provide direction also, no? For the whole utility company. Actually guys, no? Ang magandang example natin is Meralco. Kasi maganda yung system ni Meralco. Thank you. So mayroon pang question?
Wala na pong mga questions, sir. So,
Putops? Walang putops?
sir, nandito sabi ni Sir Nonito Lasap Jr. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you po sa info. BFP here.
Yeah.
Go. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
sir.
I think si Brian Hiccup. Isang isang issue lang sa mga arc fault detection devices na parang medyo nagiging challenge, no, as to the implementation. Sometimes it could cause nuisance tripping kasi especially if hindi yung sensitivity na not properly set, no. So yun yung isang din daw na yung mga switching arc, yung mga ganyan baka makapag-cause ng tripping ng ganitong devices. As far as I've researched.
Well, alam naman natin, no, yung culture natin as a Filipino, pag pwede pa, pagtiyagaan natin. Kahit na maluwag na yung outlet natin, pagtiyagaan natin kasi pwede pa naman yan eh. Unless, sabi nga natin, if it ain't broken, why fix it? But when there is already a nuisance tripping, then there is already a sign that may problema na. So we need to correct it. So yun lang po. When there is a nuisance tripping, let's try to investigate. Then if there is a corrective measure that we could do, then let's correct it. Pag may nakita tayong na problema, then correct na natin. Pag wala, then maybe yung device natin is defective. Or let's have our supplier look at into it. So yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, go. Thank you, go.
Tanong po, sir, from Julian Espinosa. Good noon. AFDD with integrated RCBO would cost more than usual.
Yes, sabi nga ng no, when we inquire to the supplier, no, sabi nila, since there is no demand, syempre mahal kasi hindi naman sila nagsa-stocking. So when there is a demand, syempre bababa yan yung presyo kasi it is already required. So that's why we make it a point as a designer, no, na i-order na natin. Same true man na sa mga conductors, which is IEC standard ng mga conductors. So medyo mahal siya kasi they are not available in the market eh. So yung available is mostly yung mga typical na miniature type lang, which is flooded in the market, kaya naging mura. So pag may demand, syempre bababa. So it is alam naman natin, law of supply and demand. Pag walang demand, syempre mahal yan kasi. But in other countries, medyo mura sila kasi they are already requiring that sa code. And alam naman natin na pag pera, hindi natin makompromise yan yung safety sa pera. So balance lang natin. Thank you. So si IEC, ito naman si Maiko Murata. Does IEC issue certificate of compliance if manufacturer is compliant to that? So alam naman natin si IEC is a different issuing standard compared to UL. So when you have that seal, alam natin yung product is talagang had passed the testing. Kasi sila, they would not issue a compliance if hindi ito dumadaan sa testing. Ito naman si Calvin Prado, pasok ba dyan yung power circuit breaker, LSIG? Yung pinag-usapan na, pag LSIG, alam naman natin, no? LSIG, long short. Dito na yung papasok si arc flash, no? Yung setting mo dyan sa arc flash. Si arc fault detection, if you have tried to look at the previous example, ang liliit na lang current, no? 5 amperes. So si LSIG, alam naman natin yan. Kailan ba magsa-start si LSIG? Ano bang size ng power circuit breaker? So when can we say that we have a power circuit breaker? Power circuit breaker, if it is an IC, start from 630 amperes, no? If it is an UNC, it start from 800 amperes. So, pang maliit lang ito si FDD compared to power circuit breaker.
Sir, good afternoon.
Ito si Romeo Udanal. Anong device po ninyo sa connection? So usually connection for single phase is line to neutral. AFDD. Line to neutral. If you have a three phase, no, so you have a 5-wire system. Three phase, then yung AFDD mo is single phase that is line to neutral with ground. So single phase, 3-wire system with neutral and ground.
Sir Emmanuel Cabrega, go ahead po. Kung may question.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir,
Yes.
ngayon, lalo na yung mga miniature circuit breaker, ano, ang dami lumabas ngayon sa mga online na nabibigyan naman ng ICC standard. Reliable po ba yun? Amumura?
According to DTI, no, kasi the one that are regulating this is DTI, no. So if there is an ICC mark, just be sure na totoo 'yon. Kasi baka dami namang fake na ICC mark or PES mark which nilalagay lang doon para makabenta din ang mumura pa. So just make sure na yung mga brand na yan is very reliable. You try to do your own due diligence before buying it, no? Kasi alam naman natin pag bahay, yung pinakamura, no, especially my experience, no, yung mga contractor na arkitekto, no, tinitipid yung electrical pero yung aesthetics hindi tinitipid. Pero pag electrical na titipirin. So
Tama nga po.
yeah, so hindi naman sinasabi ko yan harap-harapan, tinitipid mo ito pag nasunog ka yung perting mahal na nilagay mo rito ang interior. Isang kwan na yan, isang ignition na yan, sunog ka rito. So, especially sa mga wires, you recommend the good brand. Yung talagang proven. Kasi mahirap naman magsabi ng brand, no? But as practitioner, you should be aware and you should know how it was tested para at least pag nag-recommend ka sa client mo, yung safe talaga sila. Yun ang po may bigay ko. Hindi ako magsasabi ng brand. Pero mas maganda try to make your own due diligence.
Meron pa sir yung ating mga circuit breaker Wi-Fi na. Acceptable na po ba sa atin ngayon yun?
Ano po yun ulit, sir?
Wi-Fi operated na yung ibang circuit breaker.
That is now the new trend of technology, especially sa mga merong building management system which is operate in control. So if actually sa totoo lang, no, I have not yet designed with that. Usually yung mga ginagamit na namin is the shunt trip. And mayroon na kaming wired pa yun sa amin sa mga building management. So yung mga Wi-Fi, ngayon lang ako yan nakarinig sa iyo. So hopefully that could be introduced in the market and what type of standard they are using, and if it is a UL listed, how does the UL tested on it? Kasi pag medyo hindi nag-undergo ng mga ganyan test, medyo baka magka-problema tayo later. So I would advise that you try to have your own due diligence and investigate before recommending para at least safe din tayo. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Questions are from the chat box from Domingo. Sa medium voltage switchgear, sir, meron po bang mga arc flash detection device?
Actually, yung presentation ko kanina sa arc flash, there are already electronically device which could already detect if there is an arc flash that are happening, no? Mayroon na ngayon. Yeah. Meron. Yeah. Hindi pa nangyari, pero ma-detect niya na. Meron na mga electronic, mga new trend of technology na which is also a UL listed. So, but sa akin, compute mo ng maigi based on, then if it would detect, kasi pag sinabi nating arc flash, mayroon na yung line to ground na fault sa sistema or there is already a broken installation. If it is prolonged, doon yun sumasabog. No? So hopefully wala lang tao, but yun nga, yung mga ungrounded system, yun yung delikado sa arc flash. So ngayon meron ng mga devices na it could detect earlier if there is an arc flash. Medyo mahal-mahal pa yung technology. But meron na yan sa mga branded mga brand na yun na kilala sa market. Meron na yan. You could search for it and you could invite your supplier to explain it to you kasi they would be the one providing you all with the technicalities.
Next question, sir, from Ian Waldi Sayamano. Good afternoon po, sir. Not sure if it was discussed earlier in your presentation because I joined late. Commonly, we can find AFDDs for final distribution boards which are AC. Do we have for DC circuits such as for the wiring for photovoltaic systems?
For the DC, you could inquire na lang sa brand na ito para they could provide you a good recommendation, no? Because at the end of the day, the supplier are more knowledgeable, especially on the solar, no? Because what I have discussed is just on the AC system. So sa DC, wala pa akong knowledge, no? But you could inquire doon sa supplier na lang. Alam naman natin sino yung mga kilalang supplier that are supplying on this. So you could inquire on them para they could provide you a guidance when it comes sa DC. Kasi yung mga rapid shutdown, parang ganun din yung system na nilalagay dyan. Kasi nire-required na yan sa code, yung rapid shutdown device that could minimize damage or cause of fire. Kasi right now, number one cause of fire sa DC side Pero yung nagkukos daw is the rapid shutdown eh. Kaya nga yan yung ngayon pinag-uusapan last time doon sa standard committee sa IEC. Kasi it is recommended, but yan yung nagkukos na sunog. So maybe it is not well tested, no? Kasi before they release that sa market, supposed to be it would go on a tedious test, no? Especially the UL or IEC. Para at least matry talaga natin na if ever it really works, no? So yung AFDD pa lang is working properly kasi it was 1980s pa yan was developed by UL eh. So yung sa DC, yung sa mga solar, yan pa yan ngayon yung pinag-uusapan sa standard na hopefully they could come out with a better one, no? No? Kasi ito si rapid shutdown, mayroong problema eh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mukhang wala na po silang mga questions. So, I'll just award na lang po yung aming Certificate of Appreciation. Wait lang po ah. So, the IIE Northern Laguna Chapter, the IIE Best Chapter Hall of Famer, awards this Certificate of Appreciation to Engineer Jalsen J. Dumangas, PE, ACTE, SE, for sharing his technical expertise on the topic entitled Arc Flash Detection Device during the Thursday Delight webinar given this 13th of February 2025. Signed by Anthony Jefferson S. Atienza, Vice President for Technical Affairs, Joy O. Husayan, our President, Rodelito V. Manalo, webinar proponent, co-host, Esperanza A. Collado, webinar proponent and our original host. So, thank you so much, Engineer Jalsen. Thank you po for your I think last year lang po na-invite po namin kayo. Same topic din po, ano? So, I hope ma-invite po namin ulit kayo for some other topics dito sa Thursday Delight. So,
okay, thank you, Dan. To Ms. Chair, thank you for the 175 participants. Thank you. I hope I have shared my knowledge to you. I have still several topics that we could maybe later
yes,
could present. So just invite me again. And if you have some question, you could message me to my Facebook or Messenger. Or you could email me. May email naman ako dyan. So just provide me with the link on where I could download this topic so that all of the participants could have this also. So thank you very much and highly appreciated for inviting me. Good afternoon po.
thank you again, sir. And thank you everyone for all the participants. So, I hope you have registered in our link. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you.